behalf of Biz Talk Today TV and CrossCheck Media, welcome to BTT's Business Minute. I am your host, Todd Schoenberger. With me today is a dear friend, Richard Frazier. He is a professional handicapper, and he's joining us from Las Vegas to talk all about the business and the gambling aspect to this weekend's Super Bowl. Richard, welcome to the program. So I got to start off asking you about the numbers that we're hearing. There is a projection of $1.7 billion that's going to be handled this weekend within the Super Bowl. Do you think that this is the sportsbooks and casinos? This is their Black Friday moment, or is there something else that's out there we haven't thought about?
Well, it's definitely their Black Friday moment. But there's a couple different ways I think we should look at this. Now, when a lot of this is coming from the online sports books, and this is the only way they generate on revenue and profit. The casinos, use it in a way they throw Super Bowl parties. People are hanging out in Vegas for the weekend. They're buying hotel rooms. They're eating in the restaurants. They're drinking and eating, eating and spending money wherever they can. So for them, it's a little more diluted, but it's definitely a people attention grabber. But for the online books, yeah, I mean they live or die with this game right here.
So, and I get that. So at 1.7 billion, is that projection taken into account everything, including obviously online, but also those prop bets that we always hear about?
Yeah, I mean the prop bets gather a lot of attention because of the uniqueness of them, but most of the money wagered on the game, I'd be willing to say 80% of it is going to be on, you know, uh, sides of the game or totals, which are your standard bets that have been around for years.
You mentioned the lifestyle and also the whole activity of everybody. This isn't just a one-day event. This turns out to be a multi-day event, an extended weekend. And there has been some discussion about possibly moving the Super Bowl to a Saturday. Do you think that that would be an economic negative to cities, say, like Las Vegas, if they did that?
I don't know that it would because Las Vegas has become a destination location where when people come here, they generally come for the weekend. Whether the event is happening on Friday night, Saturday, or Sunday, I don't think it matters.
Okay. So on some cities, I mean, it seems like they will love to have the Super Bowl, but there's a lot of logistical challenges. There's huge expenses, or just the idea can be very complicated with traffic, with also travel, hotels, airports, security, for example. Do you think it's worth it? I mean, I get a city like Las Vegas, but for Santa Clara to host the Super Bowl, do you think that they really need to do it?
Well, the economic impact that an event like this brings into the city is just phenomenal. I mean, let's just look at the gate alone because a lot of these expenses that you mentioned are picked up by the NFL and the Super Bowl itself. If you have say a 70,000 seat stadium, like Levi Stadium holds like 68.5, so it's close. And the last I seen, the average Super Bowl ticket for this season was about 5,500, which is a little low. But if you multiply that out, it comes to about $350 million dollars.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
$350 million dollars to the NFL is enough to take care of security infrastructure, logistics, all these things that you mentioned. But that doesn't even include, I looked up the numbers for Las Vegas, which hosted the Super Bowl in 2025. The economic input to Las Vegas was $1 billion in addition to the gate that the
Wow.
NFL collected. So you bring $1 billion into a city, it goes a long way. And this is why you're seeing these northern cities like Cleveland, Kansas City wanting new stadiums and willing even to go out of state if somebody will build them a dome stadium because it enables them to host a variety of events. You can have the college championship game there. You can have the NCAA Final Four there. The UFC fights. The possibilities are endless if you have a dome stadium.
Yeah, that's incredible. So $1 billion just an economic value that was seen in Vegas. I can't imagine you go to a town like San Francisco, your prices are elevated in a town like that. So I'd imagine the economic impact could even be greater than the $1 billion. From the gambling perspective, the companies like a FanDuel, the online ones, how important is this Super Bowl? Because they advertise so much for all of these sporting events. Is the Super Bowl just a one-off for them, do you believe? Or do you think that this is such a great deal to their revenues that I'm not going to ask you about the stock price, but it does seem like a buying opportunity. And I know you have some Wall Street pedigree in you anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean the game itself and the outcome becomes more important to the online books because, like I said, they don't have any other ways to offset this. As a matter of fact, they have some of the top celebrities in the world doing ads for them. Yeah, it's important for them to set their numbers straight and be on the right side of this. Now, by offering live betting and prop betting, they can make a lot of that up if they happen to be on the wrong side of the side or a total, which the majority of your betting is. But they more than make that up, like I said, on their props and their player bets.
So with that, and you are I know that odds are always going to be against the gambler. And then this is present company excluded. So let's remove your picks out of this. But for a company that a casino, an opera, sports book that is making such a wide margin off of this, what are your thoughts on? I mean, I'd imagine that's at the sports book level, human to human contact. On the online level, are the margins wider? And the reason why I ask is that the amount of money that seems to be given away in incentives just to sign up, it's just enormous. And I don't know how they're getting away with it if they're just barely making a profit. But what are your thoughts?
Well, there's a few things here. First off, if you look at their money line wagers, and this can be on a prop bet or single game parlays or live betting. They stretch them out a little more, which means they take a little more juice out of the middle, so it pads their finances. But I'll tell you what else they do is, and this is the big dark secret about online books, is that I know hundreds of people that work for online books. Um, that's how I make my, excuse me a second. Let me get off there. My wife happened to call in the middle of my session here. Uh,
She's probably wants to know who's going to win on Sunday.
she knew that I had to do this at 11 o'clock, but anyways, the other thing they do is that they're notorious for hiring people at a low wage to uh, examine people's accounts, run this template over the account, and if you are close to being a winner or they even sniff that you could beat them out of money, they'll either cut you off or cut you out completely. Alls they want are losers in the online book site.
Amazing. I love that line. That's great. Well, the final question I have to ask, you're a professional handicapper. Can you give the audience your pick for Sunday?
Well, I can, and I don't normally just give out picks on Super Bowl or follow any types of trends or anything like that. But I will say I was looking at some professional trends, and underdogs are 18-6 against the spread, 75% in the last 24 Super Bowls. The number 2 seed versus the number 1 seed are 4-2 ATS against the spread. Underdogs in Seattle, New England series have been 7-2-1 ATS last 10. And that follows my angle as well. I do like the New England Patriots. I think it's hard not to take the points in this game, especially being that it's over 3. It's
Over
at 4.
3.
It's 4.5, and yeah, I know that Drake May has had some shoulder issues the past couple weeks, but he seems raring and willing to go, and I'm sure they'll give him a shot or whatever he needs to be able to throw the ball and keep pace with Sam Darnold. So
That's great. Well, I know on Wall Street, everyone is looking for a blowout. So if we can get a blowout, a 10-point or more, 10 to 20, markets do exceptionally well. Anything above that, it's just high double digits for the market. So that's what we're hoping for this year. And we'll see what happens.
well, yeah, and it also I looked this morning, and there's still about 70% of the I hate to call them the dumb public, but the stiff bettors that the online books haven't kicked out yet have their money on Seattle -4.5. So I'm a contrarian. I like having my money on the opposite side of them. So
Good.
that's where I am.
I like that advice. That's wonderful. I know the audience will get a lot out of it as well. Rich, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for jumping on. I know you're busy in Vegas these days, so I do appreciate you joining me, and I hope you have a great Super Bowl, and I hope to have you back again soon.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, Rich. So on behalf of Richard Frazier, I am Todd Schoenberger, and that does it for BTT's Business Minute. Catch us tomorrow on WaveWire. We'll be live at 12 o'clock, breaking down everything that's coming out of the Fed. Take care. All right, Rich.